This is the U-1206, a $4 million Nazi megaweapon. In April 1945, this silent killer was gliding through the freezing waters of the North Sea, representing the absolute pinnacle of German naval engineering. It was designed to terrorize the Allied fleets, built with reinforced steel, and packed with a lethal arsenal of acoustic torpedoes. It was an underwater fortress, engineered to survive the most brutal anti-submarine warfare. Yet, this terrifying war machine was not destroyed by a British depth charge, a hidden sea mine, or a devastating Allied airstrike. It was completely and utterly destroyed by a single flush of a toilet. Yes, you heard that correctly. Just days before World War II reached its bloody conclusion, Hitler's most technologically advanced underwater predator was forced to surface right into the crosshairs of the enemy, simply because the commanding captain did not know how to correctly use the bathroom. This wasn't just an embarrassing technical glitch or a piece of dark military comedy. Inside the cramped iron hull of the submarine, it rapidly escalated into a terrifying, claustrophobic race for survival against suffocating toxic gas and waiting British warbirds. How could a high-tech toilet single-handedly defeat a lethal underwater wolf? Welcome to Echoes of War Documents. Today, we are diving deep into the hidden history where advanced human engineering met absolute disaster. To understand how this catastrophic failure occurred, we must look at the desperate state of the German military in the spring of 1945. The Third Reich was collapsing on all fronts. In the Atlantic Ocean, British and American anti-submarine technology had advanced so rapidly that German U-boats were no longer the predators, they were hunted prey. Allied radar and sonar could detect submarines the moment they surfaced to breathe or discharge waste. Surfacing meant instant death. To counter this deadly threat, German naval engineers pushed the boundaries of science to create the Type VII-C modification. This submarine was engineered to stay submerged for weeks at a time, hiding in the dark, cold depths where Allied eyes couldn't reach. However, staying submerged for weeks created a massive human problem: waste management. Traditional submarines stored human waste in large internal tanks. These tanks took up valuable space and could only be emptied safely when the submarine surfaced. To solve this, German engineers invented a revolutionary deep-water, high-pressure toilet system. This highly advanced mechanism allowed the crew to flush waste directly out into the crushing pressure of the deep ocean while fully submerged. It was a masterpiece of plumbing, but it came with a terrifying catch. The system was so extraordinarily complicated, relying on a delicate sequence of manually operated valves and air pressures, that the German Navy had to train a specific crew member whose sole, specialized job was to operate the bathroom levers. He was literally known as the toilet specialist. Enter Captain Karl-Adolf Schlitt. At just 27 years old, he was young, proud, and newly appointed to command the U-1206. On April 14, 1945, the submarine was cruising silently at a depth of 200 feet, just 8 miles off the coast of Peterhead, Scotland. The mission was intense, as British patrol ships were actively hunting in the area. During the cruise, Captain Schlitt decided to use the forward head, the captain's private bathroom. However, instead of swallowing his pride and calling for the designated toilet specialist to handle the complicated flushing sequence, the arrogant young commander decided he could manage the levers, wheels, and valves all by himself. He opened the manuals, looked at the valves, and made an absolute, fatal miscalculation. Schlitt mistakenly turned the high-pressure valves in the completely wrong sequence. Instead of forcing the waste out into the ocean, the immense external pressure of the sea pushed inward with terrifying force. Seawater came erupting out of the toilet bowl like a geyser, filling the small bathroom cabin within seconds. The captain yelled for help, and the toilet specialist rushed to the scene to close the main valve, but it was already too late. The mixed torrent of seawater and sewage leaked through the floorboards and flooded directly down into the giant compartment located directly beneath the toilet. A compartment that housed the submarine's massive, highly sensitive industrial electric batteries, which powered the ship's electric motors. In submarine warfare, water is an enemy, but chemistry can be far more lethal. When highly corrosive saltwater mixes with the concentrated sulfuric acid of submarine batteries, it triggers an instant, violent chemical reaction. It generates pure chlorine gas. Within minutes, a suffocating, toxic green cloud began to snake its way through the narrow corridors of the U-1206. Chlorine gas burns the eyes, destroys the lungs, and causes rapid suffocation. The crew began coughing violently, gasping for air that wasn't there. Panicked voices echoed through the intercom. The multi-million-dollar pride of the German Navy had instantly transformed into a giant, toxic steel coffin. They were rapidly running out of time. Captain Schlitt had only one option left to save his suffocating men from certain death. He ordered the crew to blow the ballast tanks and surface immediately. But they were in the worst possible location, directly inside heavily patrolled British territorial waters. As the scarred hull of the U-1206 cut through the ocean surface, the crew threw open the hatches to let the toxic green gas escape, desperately breathing in the fresh North Sea air. But their relief was short-lived. Looking through the heavy fog, they realized they had emerged directly beneath the eyes of British patrol aircraft and a nearby naval combat vessel. The stealth predator was now a completely helpless sitting duck. The British forces wasted no time and immediately opened a relentless fire on the target. Faced with heavy shelling and a flooded submarine, Captain Schlitt realized the battle was lost. To prevent the technology from falling into Allied hands, he ordered his men to destroy all top-secret Enigma codebooks and abandon ship. During the chaotic evacuation into the freezing waves, 4 crew members tragically drowned. But 46 survivors, including the captain, managed to reach the life rafts and were promptly captured. As the British watched, the U-1206 slowly tilted backward and slid quietly into the dark abyss of the ocean, earning its permanent place as the only submarine in history defeated by its own plumbing. History is filled with tragic tactical errors, but a $4 million war machine lost entirely to a toilet malfunction remains completely unmatched. It stands as a timeless lesson on how even the most advanced technology can be instantly brought down by a single human error and a heavy dose of captain's pride. What do you think about this bizarre event? Would you blame the German engineers for overcomplicating a basic necessity? Or do you place the blame entirely on the young captain's arrogance? Let us know in the comments below. Smash that like button to support the channel and subscribe to Echoes of War Documents. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next Deep Sea Archive.